speaking industry has become a significant part of modern economic life. The exponential growth the industry has recorded over the years has not gone unnoticed by entrepreneurs on the African continent, and many new players are making bold entrance into the sector and carving a strong niche for themselves. On this episode, we seek to explore the speaking business in our conversation with professional speaker and image consultant, Boye Falonipe. Now, the simple art of speaking is a thing we do every day.
Yeah.
And now we're hearing that it's worth over $50 billion globally.
Yeah.
How do we reconcile that? Speaking, natural thing we do, and business that we make billions of dollars from?
Yeah. When you speak, you're conveying value.
Yeah.
When you speak and you have substance in what you're saying, you're conveying value. And anything that has to do with the exchange of value means there must be exchange of money.
True.
We get to communicate.
Quid pro quo.
Yes. We get to communicate every day through different means. If I have a skill, if I have certain skill that I want to pass on to you, that I want to teach you, I can either write it down in my book, all right, and if I don't have it in my book, then I have to say it to you. And if it means something to you, if it's going to advance your own cause, your own career, if it's going to make you a better person, if it's going to make you sell better your products, then you have to pay me for it. So it's not just what we wake up every day and you're talking with your friends, your parents, your family. Public speaking or the speaking industry is about packaging a product that is of value, but communicated most times verbally, and then someone has to exchange money for it. So,
wow. Now, take us through the sector and the subsectors in the industry.
Yeah. You could be speaking for different purposes.
Okay.
And that's what gives us the sectors. It's still the same words. It's still human beings doing the speaking.
The same tongue, the same voice.
Same tongue. Yeah, it could be different languages, but the purpose is different, and that's what creates the different sectors in the industry. Okay. I could be speaking to educate people.
Okay.
I could be speaking in the capacity of someone who is a subject matter expert on a particular field. Yes.
Yep.
And then I'm speaking to educate people, letting people know the things that they don't know about what I know, so it can make them better. I could be speaking to inform people. Okay. There could be a new technology, a new idea, an innovation, a new way of doing things. When we are in the information age right now, the amount of information that you have determines the amount of power, determines the amount of leverage that you have.
Wow.
So if there is something new in town that I know that you don't know, then I will be informing you about it. Then that carries value, and then you have to pay me for it. Information given. I could also be speaking to entertain you.
Yeah.
I could be speaking to entertain you. You see, it's amazing how much people could pay to feel good, feel better, and to have a good laugh.
Yeah.
To have a relief from the stress, the hustle and bustle that they feel from everyday life. So entertainment speaking is also very important, and it has grown tremendously.
It's a good thing that you've been able to tell us there are three major sectors: education, information giving, as well as entertainment giving, which are all about value giving. I mean, as an integrative whole, it's about creating value through the spoken word, and value that is useful and beneficial to people, which prompts them to pay money for that value. Tell us what the entry points into that sector is. You have played in that sector for nearly 1.5 decades now.
Well,
what are the various entry points?
Like I said, you need to first of all know what you want to deliver to people. You need to have the substance, the value to deliver to people.
What area you want to play in?
Yes, exactly. What area you want to, what's your voice? and what is your message that you have for the people.
What is the message you have for the world?
Yes, exactly.
What will be the subject area that you want to play?
Yes. Some people do know how to speak. All right. I mean, they can speak just about anything. They know how to carry people along, connect with people. But the problem then becomes, what am I going to focus on? What's the content? What's the substance that I have to deliver to people?
So you may have delivery techniques and lack content.
And lack content, exactly.
But it's important for you to have content and delivery techniques.
Exactly.
Great. Now, how do I get into the industry? I mean, for example, if some viewer out there is listening to us now, and their mental mouth is salivating at $50 billion.
How can I get more?
If I can capture $100 million of that every year, I'll just be fine. How does that person go about it?
See, technology has made it a lot easier for people to come into the industry.
Okay.
So you need to take advantage of technology. You need to take advantage of the advent of social media. You need to take advantage of your phone.
So what you seem to be telling us is that the entry point is democratic.
Exactly.
I think we need to be clear about something.
Wait.
The entry point is democratic.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be approved by any organization or body. For you to start speaking entrepreneurially.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about start speaking.
Yeah.
You could start speaking as a religious leader, but we're talking here about business.
Yes. Yeah.
To have speaking as your product that you sell as a business. So the entry point is democratic. But to gain traction
and credibility.
There are some things you need to put it together. What are those things?
There are organizations like the Toastmasters International that get to certify public speakers. They have clubs in different countries and different cities. They expect you to be
a member of the Toastmasters International. As a matter of fact, the Pioneer Club in Nigeria.
Oh, fantastic.
Eagle Club.
Fantastic.
That's my club. We were the pioneers.
Fantastic.
When it first came to this country.
Someone has to set the standard. Someone has to uphold and maintain that standard so that we then continue to deliver quality and value to the people.
Okay, so that someone could be as varied as international bodies, local bodies. And when you plug yourself into those bodies, there are quantum benefits that will accrue to you.
Certainly.
Let's explore them. What are some of those benefits?
You have access to tools. You have access to training. Access to tools, access to training, and access to a community.
Like a network.
Yes, like a network that you can share ideas. People have experiences in the business of public speaking that you as a newbie might not have. When you fall into that network, then they coach you, you're trained, they share with you their experiences. Okay? You can rise faster, higher when you stand on the shoulder of giants. So within these communities, you can find people like that. I mentioned the Toastmasters International. There's also the John Maxwell Institute, the Leadership Institute. I think Anthony Robbins has one too. Now, the interesting thing is you don't have to travel out of the country to find these people or to attend this training and get the certification. It's online now. So you just need.
So by online training, you can get certified.
Oh yes.
By all these institutes.
Oh yes, you can. You can, because what you would get when you were there in person is also what you would get. In fact, sometimes it's even more rigorous now. Online, the things that you have to do, the assignments that you have to take, the videos that you have to learn online. So you need to, if you have your system, you have the internet.
Next to nothing except data and electricity bills.
It will cost you money. You would have to pay for it, for that program. You have to pay for the program. What it would save you is money to then transport yourself there.
So you will recommend that those who propose to speak entrepreneurially should go online and find all of these various professional institutions, associations, bodies, and whatever, and figure out which one relates to their purpose.
Yes.
In terms of the subject area
Yes.
or the market they're
Yes.
targeting.
Yes.
Or also in terms of the mentorship they desire or
Yeah.
training they desire.
Yeah.
These are some of the variables that should determine for you which particular organization, because you can't belong to all of them.
No, you can't.
Which particular organization?
No,
So
you
you
can't.
cherry pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you will encourage people to seek out these kind of organizations,
Yeah.
and also to get actively involved in their
involved.
programs, in their requirements, as well as their activities
Yeah.
and policies.
Yeah.
So how do you set up the structure of a speaking business?
You see, the first thing is, it's a business. It has to be registered.
Oh,
Yes. If you yeah, you need to register this speaking business.
Okay.
Because if organizations are going to be dealing with you, if you have the substance,
yeah,
if you have the value that you have to deliver,
yeah.
the organization is going to be relating with you based on the corporate face that you present to them.
Absolutely.
All right. So you need to register the business first
Okay.
of all. Register the business and create a brand around the business.
Oh, we have to create brand again.
Yes, create the
Not
brand
just
around.
to talk and teach.
It's the image, it's the perception.
Wow.
The perception matters. You see, the perception is first going to draw people towards you. Then when they come towards you, they hear the content of your delivery and they are stuck with it.
Coming up.
You might not have the money to set up a big media space, but you have a phone. You can get a good phone. Get a good phone. Have times when you schedule the things that you put out and be consistent with it. Sometimes
So you brand the business.
you brand the business. You brand the business.
The way we brand our product business
Exactly. Because your speaking is a product.
is a product.
It has value. Okay? Although most of the time is attached to you. So along with organizational branding, your corporate branding, you need to brand yourself as well as a speaker.
So because you're the face of the business,
Because you're the face of
you
the
are
business.
the product
Yes,
actually.
yes.
So that means branding a corporate organization must be a tandem with branding the you.
Yes, the you.
You know, personal branding,
Exactly.
corporate branding, they must work like
Man-
Siamese twins.
Exactly. Exactly.
As opposed to other forms of products or services where your personal brand may vary.
Yeah, because you have other people doing other things for you.
in the same organization.
same-
But
yeah.
here, everybody is working around you as the product.
Exactly.
You have your team members, but they're all
Yes.
working around you as the so
You're
you
right.
have to be well branded as a personal, as a
yes.
person,
Yeah.
as well as the corporate organization has to be well
Yes.
branded.
Yes.
Well, we don't want to digress too much.
Yeah.
If we have time, maybe later on we'll come back into branding issues with the speaking business.
Yeah.
But let's stay with the organization. Now you've set it up. What are the checklists that I will have to tick if I'm setting up a speaking business?
Now you have, of course, you should have an office. You should have an office. But
And if you don't have one, you
Yeah.
can operate from a virtual office.
yes, you can operate from a virtual office. It could even be in your home. But your virtual office too has to be set up properly, including your email,
Yeah.
including your website, and your social media handles.
Okay.
These are the places where people are going to engage you first.
True.
All right.
Sure.
Now, in setting up those things, you're going to put props. It's just like your real office. You're going to put props in those places for people to come in, see, and then get attracted to it. So your props could be the images of you, samples of the work that you have done. And that's where starting small comes into play. You don't wait until you have all the certification in the world before you start saying something. Even if no one is buying it at the moment, but you know you have the content, continue to deliver the content, put the content out there, let people begin to relate with it. You see, I think the mistake that a lot of people make is they think the day they start speaking, they start making money. No, it doesn't happen that way.
It will rarely happen that way.
You know,
You're going to have to do a lot of pro bono.
Oh, a lot of it. And of course, the social media and the internet makes pro bono even amplified. Your effort in the pro bono area makes it amplified. A lot of people can see what you're doing at the same time in your virtual office. All right, and then you're communicating with them professionally as well. Do you have an email address? Do you have an email? Even if you don't have a website set up yet, but you have a domain name with which you can set up an email address, set up offices within that same domain, and send out emails. Make sure you're putting forward a professional front. Let people relate with you in that manner. All right, set up that office, and then continue to put out your content. You also need, of course, you might not have the money to set up a big media space, but you have a phone. You can get a good phone. Have times when you schedule the things that you put out and be consistent with it.
And if you can't afford a good phone yet, borrow.
Borrow. Exactly.
Borrow a good phone, do your thing, send it online, and return the phone to the owner.
And put it out.
If you're good enough, in a few months, you're going to be able to afford your own phone.
Yeah, and probably buy your own cameras.
Yeah.
But before you get to that phase, you have to be consistent. Consistency is key. If you're putting out content once in a month, then how much followership are you going to get? All right.
So you don't advocate sporadic.
No.
But it has to be consistent.
It has to be consistent. Let people expect. Let people know when to hear from you, when they would expect to hear from you. If it's going to be on a weekly basis, if it's going to be on a bi-weekly basis.
And once people know that, your ability to expand your followership and the attention you get from the public will begin to be defined clearly.
That followership part is very, very important.
Okay.
It's amazing what the social media is doing these days.
You don't say.
You see, because someone is dishing out content on a regular basis and is consistent with it, he gets a following, consistent following. Now, what brands are looking for is how much followership. If this much people can follow this person, then it means this person has some content. Why don't we call on that person to come and show us something, what is good?
Yeah, we'll come to that. I still want to establish the checklist. In terms of setting up an organization. By the way, some people will use their personal name to set up their organization. While some other people like you, they didn't use your personal name. You set up a proper organization on its own. And I don't think there are any rules as to it's all about personal choice.
Absolutely not. Yes.
Now, what are the other things that should be present on your checklist? You talked about branding structure, branding strategy. What's the organogram like of the average speaking business?
The size of your organogram depends on the amount of resources that you have to expand on the business. Now, you're going to, in your speaking business, you're going to need a lot of people working with you.
Who will be your team?
Who will be your team? But you can decide on what level you want to engage them. Do you want them to be permanent, or do you want them to be contract staff? Or you have a network, you have people you have friends who are graphic artists, you have friends who are editors. If you don't have the money to pay yet, you can get these people on board with you, and then you can offer them other things. All right, maybe it's free consultation or free speaking to their organization. Right? But you need people around you.
So when you say your team members, who are we looking at? You mentioned graphic
artist. You could need a photographer. You could need a videographer, a cameraman, an editor. People who work basically with you to project what you have to say. You know how to say it. They know how to project it. And then you might also need a salesperson or a PR person.
A publicist?
Yes.
Or a manager?
Yes, or a manager. For some of us, we know the technical aspect of the things that we know. But how to make it into a business, we don't know.
How to bridge between The product and the market.
Yes,
that needs the
exactly.
product.
So you should know yourself. If you don't have that skill, then get someone on board who can do that for you.
Now, I want to know the role of lawyers in the speaking business.
In your speaking business, you will be creating a lot of intellectual material.
True.
The things you write, the things you say, when you produce them into DVDs, CDs for distribution, you are still facing the risk of piracy.
Because it's intellectual property.
It's intellectual property. It gets copied once, and then there goes your money. All right. So you need a lawyer to help you do those copyright items, trademark, copyright issues, and of course in your company registration as well. Then of course you need your lawyer when you need to draft contracts.
Because there'll be lots of contracts.
Oh yeah, there'll be lots of contracts. You know, I mean,
those who want to commission you to come and speak at their events.
Yeah.
What other professionals or ancillary support do you require?
Just like every other organization, you're going to be dealing with money. Money is going to be paid into your account, your corporate account. So you also need an accountant. You need an account. No, you don't need to put an accountant in your office in the first instance. There are accountants who you can outsource to. Accountants, auditors, tax managers. It's still a business. The only difference is the product is the information, the content that you're giving to people.
Now, every product requires a distribution system. What's the distribution system like in the speaking business?
The speaking business, a lot of times, of course, is about voice, visuals. Voice, visual, that's what you're selling. So you must be able to package voice, visual into something sellable. Now,
with easy access.
Yes, with easy access.
By your target audience.
Yeah, it's not every time that you get a gig. Let me put it that way. It's not every time that you get called to a big function.
A physical function.
Yeah, it's a physical function. Of course, that's a channel of distributing your material. Of course, they'll pay you, and then you tell them what you have to tell them. But how will people continue to engage with you
on a daily basis
after you have left that platform?
Okay.
So you then need to be able to package the things that you know that you want to tell the world and be able to distribute it. Your website can also have an e-commerce setup. On that e-commerce setup, you upload your materials on it. So anyone who goes there, who wants to buy something, who wants to access a training or a material, can then sign up, pay, and then download. And there is no border around the internet. So you could have something and then it's sold all around the world. That's what the world has become now. But you must, of course, make sure that your website is secure. So you don't have hackers coming into it, and then you have that piracy issue, which your lawyer might not be able to handle in that case.
Context.
Yes.
So the website is a strong distribution point.
The website, and then the social media handles that you have as well.
Okay.
Your social media handle.
YouTube, Instagram, particularly these days.
Yes. You can do a lot in 1 minute. Because the nature of our audience is changing, right? The millennials, their attention span is much shorter.
Very, very short.
Okay, so they flip on their phone, but they click on it. What they're seeing, is it catching their attention visually?
Yeah.
All right. Is it catching? Then do you have the content, and can you deliver it very quickly?
Because they don't want you beating around.
No.
No. Otherwise, they scroll you out of their vision.
Exactly. So if you can do that consistently, although you are distributing for free, but you're gaining a followership. So when it comes to the day you need to drop something big that they need to pay for, then there's a credibility they have built. Your brand has been built in their minds already. Then they can pay for that.
What other distribution forms or channels
are
available for exploration?
You can have podcasts as well. You can do podcasts. podcasts are like what you do on the normal social media. It has visual, but podcast is just sound.
Yeah,
it is just sound. So
and there are lots of podcast channels out there.
Oh yes, exactly. So
we've moved beyond the traditional tapes, CDs, and DVDs.
No. That's
have,
yes.
And then I also reckon that there are downloading sites where musicians drop their stuff.
Oh yes.
Where they drop their music videos and drop their audio materials. The speaking business person can also utilize those download places.
You know what makes those things interesting about artists? They are dropping tracks for free online. So you wonder, where do they get their money from? The fact that they're dropping online for free and they can reach a whole lot of people, a lot of followers, their brand grows.
Yeah.
So the big organizations who are looking for big brands would then look for them and then pay them big money.
Yeah.
So the money that the 1 million people could not pay them, 1 or 2 organizations will pay them, because a proof of their credibility has become the followership that they have from dropping
the number of downloads that they've been able to
yes, from dropping.
And the organizations want to leverage on that followership.
Oh yes.
Because what they want to do is, when they pay you good money, they are invariably trying to curry the favor of your followers to look in the direction of their brand.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Everybody.
The followers get free downloads. The musician gets bankrolled by brands, and the brands get the attention of the followers of the musician.
Exactly, very
and
wonderful
that way
triangle.
So the triangle works for everybody.
Exactly.
And so it can work for a speaker too.
Oh yes, it can.
If you know how to leverage on these download sites. And there are sites where you put your materials, your content, and you get paid for every download.
Yes.
So someone in the speaking business should also utilize that channel as well.
Certainly.
So you can get paid a lot of money on a number of channels, as long as your materials are being watched or listened to or clicked or shared, or even downloaded.
You know what makes those sites interesting? It's traffic. Because people know that there's content on this side, valuable content. That's why you must always continue to work on your material.
It has to be value deriving.
Exactly.
Quid pro quo.
Exactly.
That's what economics is simply all about.
So if
create value to get value.
There are people on that side who would listen to your material, and as long as they keep coming, there are other people who will come there to just advertise, and when they advertise in their paying, all right, so it's from what they're paying that you then get paid. You know, so it's a very, very complex but interesting system now. Maybe
not complex, maybe intricate.
Yes, intricate. Intricate is the word. Intricate is the word.
Once you're able to study the value chain,
yes,
then you can identify the points by which your own business can be plugged.
Coming up,
I do tell people that content is king, but every king needs a queen. And that queen is the platform. So if you have content, you must be able to find the right platform for your content before you produce what people can describe as success. And that way, once you plug yourself in there, it's like your straw has landed. And then
you keep taking it could come in trickles. It come in trickles. But imagine the trickles coming a million times. It's 1 cent or 1 naira, and it's coming from a million people.
Make a mighty ocean.
And guess what? You did that production once,
and you earn from it for 10, 20 years or even for life.
Exactly.
You know, and it's a good thing that you've talked about these distribution channels. Unfortunately, because of certain ethical requirements and regulatory issues, we won't be able to mention the names of these online channels. But guess what? It's very easy to get. Just go online. You only need to be patient and to be willing to explore and move into different corridors online. In a few minutes or hours, these things will begin to crystallize and take shape in your face, in your mind. And all you need is just an email. A click of the button, your email goes to all those people. And with persistence, you get positive response from them. And over time, you begin to have multiple streams of income. Your business begins to flourish.
Passive income. You just sit down
begins to flourish. And all you have done is just to work on your smartphone. by being smart with your smartphone. Offline also, because I do tell people that content is king, but every king needs a queen. So, and that queen is the platform. So if you have content, you must be able to find the right platform for your content before you produce what people can describe as success. How does one prospect for platforms where you can showcase or deliver your content?
We need to, first of all, be conversant of the association and the groups that we belong to. Whatever you need, the resources you need, the network that you need is just around you. You need to start exploring it. You need to exploring it. A lot of us have WhatsApp on our phones now, and we have WhatsApp groups there. What do we use this WhatsApp?
We send prayers, which is good.
We
send jokes, which is good. But we don't bother to pay attention to our own business as well.
Exactly. So you have these groups and you have materials. All right, you can share with people within this immediate network of yours. Although yes, it's still somehow online, but it's within your immediate network.
You seem to be saying that one needs to leverage on one's network.
Oh yes.
Online and offline. And also proactively seek out groups, professional groups, civic groups, civil organizations that one can become members of. And then leverage on your membership of those groups.
Exactly. Leverage on membership of those groups. Participate in those groups.
So how do you gain platform exposure from them? Is it like you're saying those professional groupings or civil groupings or civic organizations would occasionally have requirements of speakers on your area of subject? And if you've already been in their consciousness for a while, your doorstep will be the first place they would knock. Where they would knock. Is that what you seem to be saying?
It still comes to number one, consistency, and then sharing what you have as often as possible. You said you have to come to their consciousness. How would you come to their consciousness?
If you do sporadic pushing out the content, maybe you push out your content 4 days a week now, and then you go offline for another 1 month, you won't be able to get that consciousness level.
Exactly.
So you really are not advocating that you put cold calls first. It's good, but not first. Because when you push yourself into people's faces, they tend to resist you.
No. You see, there's what we call content marketing these days. It's not direct marketing. You're not saying come and buy. What you're saying is, I have what you need. There are two different things.
Wow.
You're suggesting I have what you need, and oh yes, he has. So how would you suggest that I have what you need? Is by talking about what I have. Just talking about it. Just trying to give value first.
Somebody told me that you can market in two ways. By pushing and by pulling.
Exactly.
You seem to be talking about the pulling.
Yeah, the pulling part. You see, it's most likely.
Which is what personal branding is all about. So you don't push your product. You just pull your prospects.
You just suggest to them.
So don't push your product at your prospect. You pull your prospect towards your product.
Yes, exactly.
In a gentle, subtle manner.
They wouldn't know that they have been sold to. All right, and then for you, you're also just being a good person. I have good information. Here's a little bit of it. I have more.
In my storehouse.
Yeah, and they say, oh yes, you have more. I think I like what I saw. I think I need it. So what more?
I need more.
What more do you have? Then you can put some more value on it.
Yeah, and then negotiation can lead to an alert on your phone.
An alert on
from your bank.
Yeah, which makes you very happy.
Oh sure, it makes everybody very happy. So seeking platforms.
Yes.
You've told us that the more relevant groups you belong to and are conscious of your presence and what values you carry, the more likely you're going to get platforms where you can, push out your content. What about you creating your own platforms as well, physical platforms now?
Oh yes.
Does that work?
Yes, it does work. It does work. But it takes a lot of patience to build it as well. It takes a lot of patience to build this.
How do you go about that?
You know, if for
I mean, we can understand the online thing. How do you go about creating a platform? You can create a virtual platform. You
Yes.
understand that to an extent.
Yeah.
What about the physical platform? How do you create, nurture, nourish, and grow your own physical platform?
Like I said, first you must take advantage of the people around you. First,
So you start from
start from your inner circle.
inner circle.
Start from your family. If your brother cannot listen to you, that person on the next street cannot listen to you. If your estate or your community can listen to you, the next street can listen to you. If your church group can listen to you and enjoy you, then another church or mosque can invite you to come and speak. So leverage on the people you have around you first. When you leverage on them, then they become your mouthpieces. Now, while you're speaking, someone is recording you or sharing live for you. All right. And then other people are seeing it. In that case, you are not marketing.
Yeah.
You are not advertising, but you are being branded. Someone is saying he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Not you saying it,
Yeah.
not you paying someone to do it. And word of mouth is very, very
Is
strong.
the most potent form of marketing.
Very, very, very potent. So take advantage of your immediate network, your old school association, your group in church, your group in school, even as a student, your department. What do you have to present to them? And do you take on every opportunity that comes to you to speak? Don't shy away from it.
Take on every opportunity to speak.
Take on every opportunity.
I read
to
that
speak.
in somebody's book.
Take on every opportunity to speak because you don't know who's listening. You really don't know who's listening at every point in time.
So creating your own platform is not about you renting an hall. It's big overhead, and the number of people that can come to that hall is limited anyway.
Exactly.
So, but it's about you, first of all, branding your service.
Yes.
Let people understand what they are getting.
Yes.
Whenever they come to listen to you.
Yes.
Whether online or offline.
Yes.
And once you are able to communicate that strongly and effectively, begin to look for platforms all over the place.
Yeah.
And then every platform that you're offered, whether they're going to pay you for it or not, just seize it.
Give your best.
And give it your best.
Exactly.
That's the summary of what you have been telling us over the last few minutes.
Exactly.
And I bet a lot of people are going to call you to come and speak for free or for near free or for pittance.
Yeah.
So you seem to be saying that the strategy for marketing or for growing in this business is give to get.
Yeah. Give first. Give first.
Give first.
Give first.
So if you don't have
Give
a
first.
heart of giving, you
Give
won't
first.
likely go
Give
far.
first. And be excited when you're giving for free as you are excited when you're giving for a fee.
I think if there's nothing people are taking away from this conversation, because we don't hold interviews. On talk, that's why it's talk with Femi Badiola. It's a conversation.
An interesting one at that.
An interesting conversation. Hoping that in that conversation there will be nuggets and lots of valuable materials that can help entrepreneurs across various sectors out there. So if there's anything anyone is going to say that they've gained today, is the fact that on your journey towards being a big time speaking businessman, you're going to have to do a lot of pro bonos along the way. And then by the time your stature grows, by the time you're well known, you can begin to cherry pick your speaking schedule.
Exactly. And in those times you're giving freebies, you're working on your craft.
You're working on
your craft. You're working on your topic. You're working on your subject. And
how do you do that?
Oh well, you know, you're going to make mistakes there. I mean, those are the platforms where you can make mistakes.
That's like failing forward.
You fail forward. Well, nobody's going to hold you responsible, or nobody's going to harass you for it because they didn't pay you anyway. All right, but someone is going to give you feedback, and that feedback would make your next presentation even better.
Because you'll have corrected that error.
Exactly.
So the more you speak, the better you get.
The better you get. Some people start speaking with a lot of jitters. All right, the first 5 minutes they just can't get themselves. But now wake them up in their sleep.
They're good
and the fire. It didn't start that way.
Coming up.
Somebody said that when you become an author, you become perceived as an authority.
Exactly.
So when you're an author of a book, you're perceived as an authority in that subject
in that area. Exactly. Because it takes.
How about your content? How do you enrich it and make it fresh every now and then? Online resources are one.
Yes, you need to research. Research your topic. Research your topic. Not just online,
Your
of course.
subject.
Yes, and not just online, but books as well. You need to be. If you want to speak, you need to be a vast reader. You need to read wide because it helps you broaden the approach to whatever topic you want to you're trying to present.
So you must have a rapacious appetite.
Yes, glean a lot of information because it's not all the time that you focus on that subject alone. While you're speaking, you might be speaking to different aspects of people's lives as well.
At any rate, there's no subject that stands alone.
Yeah.
Every subject has convergences from other subject matters.
Yeah. So you need to read wide, and of course, relate with people. Be someone who loves people, who loves meeting people. Because while you're relating and speaking with people, they start sharing experiences with you. And it's these experiences plus your own anecdotes of your experiences that you bring on stage. You see, information is passed in a more effective way when you storytelling.
Yeah, you humanize your materials.
Yeah, exactly. So people are able to relate with it. Oh, this thing is talking about, it has happened to someone before. You know how we feel when we watch movies that are based on true life stories.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you really get to cry because you know that it happened to someone.
It's not fiction.
Yes, exactly. So when you can bring that on stage all the time, you captivate your audience. All right. The amount of useful, new information, usable information that the people get, all right, determines if they're gonna accept you or draw back from you. Now, I could endure 2 hours sitting with you because my organization asked me to sit down there. All right, but are you going to ask me to pay for another presentation and I would come when I've endured you for 2 hours? Definitely not.
Whereas you're supposed to enjoy me.
Yes.
Not endure
me. Exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Now, as we wind down the conversation, I'm still interested in finding out other forms of marketing. Even all of what we've been talking about all this while is selling and marketing your product, which is your content. What are the other forms of marketing that you have employed or deployed? Somebody said that when you become an author, you become perceived as an authority.
Exactly.
So when you're an author of a book, you're perceived as an authority in that subject.
In that area. Exactly. Because it takes a lot for you to sit down and construct the structure of a book.
You've got to be an expert for you to be able to.
Yeah, and then you go into deep research to be able to provide a good book.
It can be a good form of marketing.
Yes, exactly. It definitely will be.
That's one of how I discovered you.
Oh, yeah.
And then I began to look at your work.
Yeah.
I saw one of your books, Succeeding
with Appearance.
With Appearance.
In Business and Career.
Yes, that was one book I saw online. And I read it and I was like, whoa, okay. All right, okay. Because I was interested in knowing, I'm always interested in knowing things that can help people to succeed in business and in career as an executive. So the more I read about it, the more I realized there are lots of gaps that I need to address even in my own personal life. And from there, I saw you as an authority in soft skills and image and personal branding. And I began to watch and follow you online and follow your work also online before we decided at our production board that we needed to track you
Let's
down.
have this conversation.
Let's track this man down and bring him into our studios to squeeze out these materials for our delightful and very, very lovely audience. So that could be a very great form of marketing.
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
What if writing is not your thing?
Well, if writing is not your thing, then I still advocate the other areas we've talked about before.
Yeah, you've talked about your videos, talking into podcast channels.
Yes, yeah.
If you'll permit me, if writing is not your thing, it's easy in today's world. Speak all of your content into a material. Get these ghostwriters. pay them good money.
Yeah.
And they will turn
and
it
then
into a book for you.
exactly.
Because life has become easy.
Exactly.
If you are not stingy, if you are not stingy,
Yeah.
life has become
Yeah.
easier.
Yes.
You know, so you could utilize that,
Fantastic.
and you have
Yeah.
a book in your hand.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
the author of the
Yeah.
book. It
Yeah.
actually came from you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a very strong form of marketing.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people do that.
How about people who see you as, oh, this is Boye Falonipe now. We went to school together. Why do you want to collect money again from me? How do you handle that? Your relationships, your friends.
Yeah. You see, you
Thinking
would never.
that they shouldn't pay you for this intellectual.
You know, when you get to a certain stage in your career or in your business, you choose your battles. Exactly. You choose where you want to go, because some certain platforms could even take away from your brand. So you need to be very, very careful when you get to a certain stage in your career.
I agree.
And then of course, you might never then completely shy away from doing pro bono or free.
Oh, you have to do pro bono all your life.
Yeah. So
because it's also a spiritual thing.
Yes.
When you give, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
I'm a testimony.
Yeah.
I can testify to
Yeah.
that. So you're going to do pro bono.
Yeah.
But what you're advocating is that you should select the pro bono you do.
Select it.
Because if you embed your brand in certain contexts, you can devalue your brand.
Exactly. So your pro bono could be a CSR for you.
So I'm assuming that you've been having that kind of challenge.
Oh yeah.
How have you been handling it?
Oh yeah. You need to be able to stand your ground. Be firm. Be cautiously firm sometimes.
Cautiously firm sometimes. Cautiously firm.
You know, if you're going to send them you could just tell them, hey, you send them an invoice, but you can also give them a discount.
Okay.
Let them know what your professional fee is, that you command a certain value, but for their sakes, you're willing to do this. Okay, but because of your professional inclination, you are not going to do this for free, but they would have this discount. It could be a significant discount, but let it be on your invoice that this is what value I command, but you can pay this, of course.
Now, what about testimonials? Because it works in a lot of businesses these days.
Testimonials is just like word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's just like word of mouth.
Yeah. It's like word of mouth in a broadcast sense.
Yes.
Word of mouth, I can only word of mouth your service to my own circle. But if you are able to obtain my testimonial, harvest all of those testimonials together and broadcast them on your platform, then it becomes word of mouth that has been broadcasted to millions of people.
Exactly. You need to.
How can one be creative in going about testimonials?
Yeah.
I mean, I met someone who told me that he doesn't do written testimonials anymore. He does video testimonials. So his own form of testimonial is he will, after he has finished training somewhere or he has finished speaking somewhere, even when he does pro bono, he always insists that you give him feedback. On video, and he puts his phone and he gets his. He said he uses the broadcast light that we use, and he puts it in their face. He puts his phone there, and then you give the testimonials. Then when he gets home, he sifts through all the testimonials, pick the best of them from various regions of the world: Chinese, Canadians, Kenyans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, and he puts them together into a video form, 2-minute video. And he virals it online.
Exactly.
And everywhere he goes to speak, before his speaking session commences, all of these testimonials are part of what is played.
Fantastic.
Before he comes on stage.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I think I would start using that as well.
Okay,
because
and then you're going to pay me copyright for that. So I can pay that man copyright.
All right. No, it's not now. We might have done it before.
But that's the essence of this program, actually.
Yes.
It's for us to iron sharpen it. That's why we have this conversation on this program, so that we can bring together a pool of ideas about how businesses are run in contemporary times. So that entrepreneurs out there can glean snackable information from this program, adapt it to their business venture, and make money. They don't have to come and pay us 10%. Let them go to their various places where they can, service your family members and your friends with your money. But as far as we are concerned, we will have done our bit. If on every episode of our program, people are able to derive at least 5 nuggets that they can apply during the week to their business venture and profit from it.
Enhance it.
So video testimonials is going to work. It's been working for that chap that I talked about, and I know it's going to work because we are an image-focused generation.
That's it. You see something like Instagram working with short videos, 1-minute videos, and then there are lots of people on Instagram now. The more visuals you have, the more following you have, so it makes video testimonials
people
perfect.
Have, as I've come to discover, an insatiable appetite for video content. Now, before we let you go today, I'd like to know what your projectionals are, because we like people to think about the present as well as the future when doing business. Don't be myopic. Project ahead. So for your organization, Noah Enhancements, what would we be getting from you most likely in another 5 years?
Well, you see, already we're doing a lot of very short video, short content that you can wake up in the morning and get something to power your day, to enhance your relationship with people. Already we have some books as well, but in the immediate future we're going to release a training program, an online training program. It's about the complete professional image. Your appearance, communication, business etiquette, and dining etiquette. All right, so you go online, you take this program, and then you can write an international certification examination. Yes, so you have that worldwide accreditation that yes, you're competent and you can work for any organization around the world.
So as opposed to when you first started, where people have to journey, I mean, I remember when I first started in this speaking business, I will have to travel regularly to go for training. So what you're saying now is that in my bedroom, I can sit on my laptop in my bedroom and take your training program. It'll be as good as the face-to-face.
And it's a blended learning kind of approach. So if you run through the online program, pace it as you want. You could do it in a week, you could do it in 2 weeks. It's up to you. All right. So people want more control of their time. So you must give it to them. You can't just put them in a room for 2-3 days and think they're going to learn anything. And then make it modular in bite sizes. That's what that training has. Then after you've done it, we can then have a live revision. So you can come and stay and watch me live, and then we'll talk about it. Or you can still stream online. So it's a blended learning version. And then you have books and other materials. So you're learning holistically. And then I won't be testing you, an international body will be testing you. And then when you go for an interview and you say you have excellent interpersonal and communication skills, how do they prove that? Then you can give them your credentials that's online. I did this. Just like you show your ACCA or your BS.
So that's a target for your organization.
Yes.
That's a very, very bright and impressive as well as innovating projectionals.
Thank you.
And for me personally, is going to help me to rethink my strategy in my own business organization. And I want to believe for many of our viewers out there, this kind of projectional will also help them to rethink their corporate or business strategy. On that very bright note, I want to say kudos.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Kudos to you and your organization, your team members.
Thank you.
And we can only say that with all of what you have told us now, the future for your organization is looking very bright. And we promise you, on your next birthday, we're going to buy you a sunshade.
Thank you. And it's nice to be with you too.
And it's nice for us to have been there. We believe very strongly that it's also nice for you. You felt very nice to have been on the other side, I hope, there watching us. From all of us here in the studio, I want to say bye-bye and